I hope you're convinced now that the spirits are with us. These ghosts are here to stay.
I found out how you rigged the seance table with a projector. That was a pretty good show you gave.
Okay, so I staged part of the seance. But that still doesn't mean this place isn't haunted. Seances were very popular during the Victorian era, and I plan to entertain our guests with them. It'll be a great way to promote the place.
Are you the ghost who is haunting this place?
There's more to this house than you think, Nancy. You probably don't believe me, and with good reason, I admit it. But there are some mysteries in life best left unsolved.
Have you been creating these accidents to help promote the bed and breakfast?
Of course not. I've had nothing to do with these accidents. They cost us both time and money. If you want to find out who's behind the accidents, ask our resident handyman.
Do you mean Charlie?
Ugh, it's clear to me that Charlie's totally responsible for the accidents. Who else could it have been? He's a really nice kid, but he has no idea what he's doing. Unfortunately, Rose doesn't want to fire him. And there's something suspicious about him.
What do you mean?
The other day, I was down in the basement working for over an hour, and suddenly he sneaks up on me. I bet he was down there the whole time, watching me.
Do you know much about Louis? It must be great having your own expert on Victorians.
He owns Chandler Interiors, a very reputable antique store. I'm sure his clients will be quite interested in our bed and breakfast once they hear about our resident ghost.
How long have you known Rose?
A couple of years. She has good business sense, but I think she needs to think more about advertising. Otherwise, we're just like all the other B&Bs in this town, and believe me, there's plenty of them.
I saw those papers in the parlor. Where did you find them?
Right in my room. They're so vintage. I'm going to ask Louis if he can get me some antique frames for them. Rose and I can use the letters in our historical display.
Was there anything about the house in them?
I don't think so. I really didn't go through them that much. I did find this old picture of a woman dressed in men's clothing. I think it was taken in the entryway by the staircase. I sent it to a photographer to have it restored.
Do you have any idea who this woman might be?
No, I don't. Sorry.
I heard someone crying in the hallway. Was that you?
I told you the spirits were interested in you. Was it a woman crying?
Do you think it was a ghost?
Well, it wasn't me crying out there.
I'll let you get back to what you were doing.
Have a celestial day.
I can see you're busy. I'll let you go.
Take care.
Hey Nancy, I see you survived Abby's seance. Man, that Valdez guy sure sounded creepy.
I guess. Were you down here then? I don't remember seeing you.
Rose told me all about it. So how are things coming along? Anything I can help you out with?
Can you tell me more about the accidents?
I'd really rather not talk about that right now.
Have you ever heard of someone named Valdez?
I've heard of a Diego Valdez. He was a wealthy rancher who lived in the 1800s. Yeah, I just read a book on him for my history class.
Was he from San Francisco?
No, he was sort of a hermit and never married. But he was extremely generous. He gave away thousands of dollars.
How do you like working for Abby?
She's not bad. She can be a little weird. I think she gets on Rose's nerves sometimes.
What do you mean?
She always does a disappearing act whenever Rose needs her to do some work. And I think Rose is sort of had it, you know?
Abby thinks the house is haunted. Do you?
I'm not sure. Let's just say I wouldn't rule it out. But that's Abby's department, not mine.
What is that small closet in the hallway for?
You mean the dumbwaiter? It's like a mini elevator. It's broken right now. The elevator is stuck between the 2 floors and the pulley ropes are cut.
I'll let you get back to your renovation.
Hasta la pasta.
Drew residence, Hannah Groon speaking.
Hi, Hannah.
Hi, Nancy.
Abby is very strange. She really is convinced there's a ghost somewhere in the house.
I don't know Abby very well, but I never felt comfortable with her. I can't put my finger on it, but she just seemed, well, I don't know, like she wasn't who she really was, like she was putting on an act.
What do you mean?
I could never get a straight answer out of her. She was always pretending to be someone she obviously wasn't. I don't think she did it to be rude. She was probably just practicing for some part.
I met Rose's handyman, Charlie. He seems nice.
Rose told me he's a fine young fellow, but a little rough around the edges. I believe she said he's studying history at a community college.
History? Oh, that reminds me. Do you know who Rose bought the house from?
I don't remember the name, but I do remember that a young man had inherited it from some distant relative and had to sell it very quickly to pay the inheritance tax. He accepted Rose's bid even though it was very low.
Did you know Rose has a resident expert on Victorians?
Oh, yes, Rose has mentioned Lewis several times. She's really fond of him and is very grateful for his help.
How has he been helpful?
He's found some Victorian antiques at good prices, and he's making sure the renovations are done correctly.
Have you heard about the seance Abby hosted for Rose and me?
Seance? Good heavens.
Has Rose ever mentioned someone by the name of Valdez?
No, she never mentioned the name.
Abby faked the seance. She rigged a table with a projector.
Well, you didn't think it was for real, did you? Don't worry, Rose, about this. She has enough on her mind already. I just can't imagine why Abby would go to all that trouble.
I just found a hidden attic. I wonder if it has anything to do with all these accidents.
Perhaps it does. Nancy, keep this a secret until you get to the bottom of these strange events. Don't even tell Rose. The less everyone knows, the more you can investigate without creating suspicion.
I should get back to work. Goodbye.
Goodbye, dear.
Emily Foxworth speaking.
Hello, it's Nancy Drew.
Hi, Nancy. How's your case coming along?
What do you know about the Bandit's Treasure?
Bandit's Treasure. Oh, you mean the play. The Rep did a season where they performed old local plays, including the Bandit's Treasure. I've never seen it, but I hear the music is fantastic.
Have you ever come across hidden rooms in Victorian mansions?
No, but I've I've read that many houses were only partially rebuilt after the Great Earthquake, closing off damaged rooms from the rest of the house.
Do you know where Yerba Buena town is?
That's what San Francisco was called back during the Spanish colonial period, but no one calls it that anymore.
Tell me about the Spanish and San Francisco.
Oh, you could write a book on that. The Spanish were the first Europeans to settle this area during the 1700s, and it stayed that way until after the Mexican-American War when it was handed over to the United States. It couldn't have happened at a better time because gold was discovered outside the city not more than 2 years later.
With all of that gold around, I'd imagine there's a lot of buried treasure in this town.
Yeah, you'd think that, but I've never heard of any in San Francisco except for Treasure Island out in the bay. But that's named after the book, not some legend.
I should get going. Goodbye, Emily.
I hope we'll talk soon.
This is Bess.
And George.
Hello, you two.
Hi, Nancy. How are you?
Listen to this. I found a secret attic and an old desk. It looks like no one's been in there for years.
There's probably a lot of clues about the house in there.
Oh, what was in the desk?
An old playbill for a musical called The Bandit's Treasure.
The bandit's treasure? Maybe there is treasure in the house.
I found some letters written by E. Valdez. I guess he was the owner of a hotel named the Golden Gardenia.
Valdez.
Golden gardenias? I thought they were all white.
That's it. Don't you see? The hotel has gold hidden in it, and Valdez is watching over it.
I don't think so, Bess.
Abby hosted a seance and contacted the spirit who's haunting the house.
Did you actually see the ghost?
Yeah, right. I'm sure it was some kind of trick.
Abby sounds suspicious.
Yeah, maybe she's hiding something. She probably knows more about the house than she's admitting.
I should get going. Talk to you later.
Bye, Nancy.
Bye.
Aha! That's it!
Louis, are you in there?
I'll be right there.